Am I the asshole? For refusing to help my paternal grandparents with their grandchild? I have not had my dad in my life since I was 6. He was a pretty absent dad when he and my mom were married, but then she found out he had been cheating on her and she divorced him. The person he was having the affair with knew about us and she had been led to believe that she was going to get a kid out of the deal, believing she was infertile. So my dad made mom an offer that he would take me off her hands for his other woman to raise and he would give her some money every month. I learned most of this in the last couple of years. My mom always kept this stuff to herself before that. She never wanted to burden me or for me to feel more hate for him than I already did for not being in my life. But she was honest with me eventually and I'm kinda glad she didn't tell me when I was small. I really had a lot of hate in me for a few years and it would have made things worse. My dad's parents were in my life even after he wasn't. They did have some communication with him but not all that much. He married the other woman and apparently they had tried to adopt and stuff but failed at several hurdles. Then she got pregnant a few years ago and they had a daughter. My dad ended up dying just after the baby was born. He had a massive heart attack which didn't surprise me or my mom at all. He worked a lot back when he was with my mom and his diet was shit. 4 months ago his wife died in a car crash which left their daughter without either parent. So my grandparents became her legal guardians. I have never met her and even though she is my half-sister biologically, I do not consider her my sibling or my family. For me blood isn't what really makes a family and I don't want to be part of her family circle. My grandparents have asked me for help with her. They have said they are not getting any younger and would like someone who would maybe come and play with her for a while and they suggested that I could babysit if they have medical appointments and don't want to have her running around hospitals, etc. I told them I did not want to be in her life and I did not want to meet her so I would not help them with her. I suggested they find a babysitter who can help. They told me it would be better for her if I did it because she could get to know me and having a big brother in her life would be a lot better for her. I made it clear to them that I was not interested. But they didn't like that and they told me they have always done their best to make up for how badly my dad treated me and they want me to be better than him and to make sure she has better than I did. They told me she is innocent and they never did anything wrong in this either, so why punish everyone else? When I didn't give in they told me I was turning into my dad, aka someone who doesn't care about people I should care about. Am I the asshole? Nata, but here is the thing. Tread lightly. Your grandparents understand they are old. Your grandparents understand they may die in the next 14-15 years. They want you to build a relationship with her, so you will take legal guardianship of her if they become unable or they pass. As a parent I can tell you exactly what they are doing. You're a legal adult. They are looking for a potential parent, not someone to babysit her once or twice a month. No, I'm not my dad because she isn't my daughter. Not the asshole, although they weren't ours until they started guilt-tripping you and insinuating you were anything like your dad. Your dad abandoned people he chose to have in his life. He abandoned a child he chose to father. You refuse to get to know someone who just happens to share some DNA. That's far from being the same thing, even if they are right about the kid being innocent. Not the asshole. It is true that your half-sister is innocent, but she is not your responsibility, and if you don't want a relationship with her, that is certainly your prerogative. I am on the fence with this because I do get what they are saying. Kind of. It's true that this little girl is innocent of this, but I also get that, OP is just 19. Jesus, he's a 19-year-old kid too. Not the asshole. Op, your grandparents either need to find someone to adopt her or find her other relatives. It's not fair to saddle a 19-year-old with a toddler. Not the asshole. Not wanting to be dumped with your dad's kid from his affair partner does not make you like him. They are totally wrong to say that. Truth is, if you start to take care of her, they will most likely end up suggesting you take her full time as they are too old, so best to nip that in the butt now. Not the asshole. Your grandparents is setting you up. They already know they can't watch that child long term, so they want you to build a relationship with her and then spring on that you should take her in. Not the asshole. This is a terrible situation. Does her mother not have any extended family? Not the asshole. The claims you are being like your father are manipulative and not true. She is not your child. You have never been involved in her life, so you can't abandon her. By trying to also involve your mom, they are planning on having you and possibly your mom take over her care. If your grandparents aren't able to care for her, instead of badgering you into it, they should look to the mom's family. Your grandparents, being the good people they are, will need to make arrangements for the care of your half-sister should they die before she becomes an adult. You can be a part of this solution or not. Obviously your choice. Don't be surprised if the bulk of their estate goes to her and her care. Not the asshole. While they are right that their granddaughter is innocent and is not to blame for what your dad did, she is absolutely not your responsibility. They need to make other arrangements. Not the asshole. It isn't the kid's fault, and it isn't yours, either. It's an all-around shitty situation tbh. I would personally do it, because it does sound like an opportunity to move past any negativity. I've been in counseling since I was a child, and my little brother is the child of my largest abuser. I also acknowledge we all work through shit different, and what would work for me isn't likely to work for others. Sorry if this is confusing, and I understand it's a lot of pressure. Especially at 19, while you're working on establishing yourself. You are not an asshole, and your feelings do matter. Head up, young brother. Info: where are the girl's maternal relatives? Why can't anyone on her mom's side take her in? Not the asshole. You are nothing like your dad. Your dad chose to become a parent and he had a legal and moral responsibility for you. You have no such responsibility to a bio-half sibling that you didn't choose to bring into this world and is a complete stranger to you. They should be looking into other options for who will raise the child. That's what they are looking for, not a babysitter or helper. And you are not a good candidate. Not only are you still young in life, you harbor negative feelings for its father and maybe its mother too, and that would cause far worse trauma for you and it if the child went to you. Don't do it. Get your boundary across in writing, just in case. Text, email, anything that you can trace. Not the asshole. You're turning into your dad, lol. They raised the asshole. When I didn't give in, they told me I was turning into my dad, aka someone who doesn't care about people I should care about. Why should you care about her? Not the asshole. They're trying to set up for you to take her. Don't screw up your life. When I didn't give in, they told me I was turning into my dad, aka someone who doesn't care about people I should care about. I'd be done with them here anyway. Not the asshole. Your stated wishes in this are clear. This is not a relationship you wish to foster. I understand your grandparents, but that they chose to foster a relationship with you when their son fumbled the bag should not be used to manipulate you into a caring for someone you never wanted to interact with. Not the asshole. They should have thought of a better plan to care for her than to rely entirely on someone that has never wanted anything to do with her. They set themselves up for failure. You are not like your father because he abandoned his child, while you are just saying no to a job probably unpaid. Not your child or even family member, not your responsibility. But you are going to damage your relationship with your grandparents. I wish people would stop throwing around the child is innocent play card when they don't get the answer they want. You were a child, and you were innocent, too. Not the asshole. Your father abandoned you for all intents and purposes and went off with someone else. Now asking you to clean up his mess is unfair, and to liken you to your dad is cruel. Where is the maternal family in all this? Lol, fuck them. Tell them you'll be better than your dad when you have your own kid. Info: how old is this child that you've never met?